Hey everybody, this is Adam with the Parking Lot Crew. We haven't necessarily figured out a name for this podcast yet, but your comments and suggestions, any thoughts, or ask your grandma, I don't care. Let us know what maybe we should name this thing. You know what it is, and if you don't know what it is, it's a comedy podcast, it's a discussion, a general platform for people to just get on here and kick it and discuss that bullshit that you're not allowed to talk about at work or talk about at the family funeral, because Aunt Linda was a bitch. Let's be honest, nobody liked Aunt Linda, and we're all glad that she got breast cancer. So anyways, welcome to episode 2, Mostly Fired. Enjoy.
Catch us in the bar mitzvah any week. Bar mitzvah, jumping like the titty me. I like your titty me. I like that titty me. Keep the bar mitzvah jumping like the titty me.
So this episode, episode 2, we're gonna kind of just get right into it. Uncle Tom's. This episode is sponsored by Uncle Tom's. It's not sponsored by Uncle Tom's. I just wanted to make sure everybody felt the equal amount of awkwardness as I do as I'm trying to stuff my face with this delicious, kind of stuffed, kind of deep dish Illuminati pizza. Buy your Illuminati pizza in Schaumburg, preferably. It's pretty decent. So today we got Mr. Joey on the podcast. He brought over some friends from the Comedy Cellar, right? Yeah, we're all from New York. This is the Comedy Cellar podcast. We all know Louis C.K. very well. We'll get more into that.
I masturbated in front of him.
You masturbated in front of him?
Yeah, I did.
Joey personally masturbated in front of Louis C.K. But we won't bore you with the details. We'll get into it later or whatever.
I won.
But welcome to episode 2, and who else we got here? We got Erik.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And,
ready to get into some masturbatory stuff?
And I barely know everybody's name because I've just met them. We've got Uncle Tom.
Well, I'm Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom's warehouse of, what the fuck do I sell? We're like Home Depot, but we don't suck, alright? We don't hire a bunch of Mexicans.
And he's also whoever he wants to be, but he went with it, so.
Okay. Should I say do you even know my real name? Here's a hint.
I have no idea. W.
How many names do you give in the letter W?
His name's Washington.
Bush.
Washington.
Okay, it's George W.
Bush.
George W. Bush.
I wish I was an adult when Bush was off so I could say fuck Bush more.
Where there is a...
Ah, man. Wallace?
Where there's a Wallace? No.
You gotta call us.
His fucking name is Will.
Well,
His fucking name is Will.
his fucking name's Will, everyone. So we got Erik, Will, we got Joey.
But my non-fucking
And-
name is Tom. That was my porn name.
And,
Uncle Tom's warehouse of hardware stuff.
Right. Hardware stuff.
It's a warehouse.
hopefully we'll get it together in episode 3. If not, go fuck yourself and leave a comment. And we have this man in the Cubs hat.
My name is Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about you, Chris.
Why?
I didn't really hear a lot about you, Chris.
It's just the thing people say.
Right? All right, then. Well, I'm glad to be here.
We all heard that.
Oh, yeah. If
Hello.
anybody... Sorry, we're not videoing it. Everybody just greeted each other, okay? I'll make sure to add that in.
It's like an AA meeting.
It was kind of like an AA meeting.
Hi.
But,
Assholes Anonymous.
but mostly
Yeah.
for me, because I think I'm the only guy that chiefs next to Joey, and then you guys are all straight edge.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Fucking edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at talking to weed dealers, so I don't get any.
Speaking of
You
which,
just need a friend.
today I had a little odd bit with a guy that I barely know anymore. Just randomly on Facebook offered me marijuana. He's like, "Need weed?" LOL. And I'm like, no, but I kind of want to hear where this is going.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got some. I'm at work right now, though, so I'll text you later. And he texted me, and he's like, do you need weed? Ha, 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 ha. And I'm
Why
like,
is
well,
it so funny?
right, exactly.
Like the cops are gonna be like, "Oh, it was just a joke."
Right. So I go, I'm a driver, so no, I don't smoke. And he's like, well, here's what I could do for you. I could give you a dub for free. I normally wouldn't do that, but if you give me your address. He actually smokes because he got hurt on the job. He fell off of a ladder.
Why laughing?
And why laughing?
One text in a laugh.
Yeah, he
He fell from
Because he
laughing.
was on that funny stuff.
He was on that
Because he
funny
laughs
stuff.
after everything he says. So
Right.
he's just on the ladder. Did you want the blue paint or the red? Ha ha ha! And it fell right the fuck off.
I don't know.
Is that a condition? Can anybody Google that?
But-
Is there a laughing condition?
There actually
Is
is.
he confusing maybe weed with like crack or something?
Dude,
like, I'll
I
give
don't
you
know.
a taste. Nobody gives you a taste of weed.
Yeah, dude, weed isn't heroin. I don't know.
I
what
don't
that guy
know,
thought he was
man.
gonna do.
Just try.
I don't know how these dealers work. Okay. I
Although
don't-
weed and heroin are both referred to as dope these days, depending on who you ask.
That's true.
Who
These kids.
calls
Michelle
weed
Bachman,
dope?
mostly.
Who calls weed dope?
I do.
Canadians, I think, actually.
Canadians?
Yeah.
I like to
do.
buy dope.
A.
According to Urban Dictionary, I'm a sheltered white boy for thinking that dope is marijuana.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks, Urban Dictionary. My self-esteem needed that.
This podcast brought to you by call a friend if you're gonna kill yourself. Just call somebody. What is that number? 1-800.
Don't
kill you?
call the hotline, so they'll put you through to like one of those like specialists and like, okay, here's a doctor in the area. Call them, or we're going to call the cops and say you're going to kill yourself. So then you're screwed.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? I think you're sending the wrong message.
What message do you want me to send?
Kill yourself.
Complete the mission.
Complete the kill yourself. Go
Be a
kill
success
yourself.
story.
Leave a comment first. Like and subscribe because you're dead anyways. Like, do us a favor.
yeah.
Leave your mark on society and say, I listened to the podcast where we didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about, but I listened to it and I subscribed and then I blew my fucking brains out.
Yeah, well, what you said about not talking to the specialist because they'll get the cops on you.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happened while I was in school at college. There was a kid who actually, he was from Africa. I'm not sure where, and don't think I'm racist for not.
It's all the
knowing
same
where.
country.
Probably Nigeria, right?
It's all-
Probably not. But anyways,
Yeah.
he was really intelligent, and he managed to escape whatever his life of poverty in Africa, and he was actually born with polio too.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
So he gets over to America, and he starts to feel down about his life or whatever, and he's gonna kill himself. And he calls the hotline and says, "I'm gonna kill myself." So the specialists, those fucking pesky specialists, they call the cops on him, and not only did the cops come, but they actually brought the SWAT team.
Oh my
Right?
god.
Yeah, they brought the SWAT team with like assault rifles, and they go into his dorm room, and he's like in there doing whatever, and he walks with crutches or whatever, and he like moved, and they saw his crutch, thought it was a gun, and they blew his fucking jaw off. They didn't kill him,
my God.
but they shot his jaw completely off.
Oh
It was
my-
like a news story for a while.
And you knew this guy?
Yeah,
That's
it was
insane.
maybe the beginning of cops killing black people.
Plot
Just because.
twist. After that
you love him or you
happened.
knew him personally?
I didn't know him personally, but it was a big thing on campus. There were like protests about it. It turns out that same cop that blew his jaw off, and it's not funny, but the same cop that blew his
It's
jaw
totally funny.
off.
What are you talking about?
Well, the next thought that I had was the thing is that same cop that blew his jaw off with the assault rifle
Yeah.
had previously been suspended or something for driving around drunk in his squad car,
Oh.
egging black people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my God.
That's how it goes down.
They
I
only
mean-
suspended him.
Yeah.
That's normally
it.
how long.
That's-
bless America.
Plot twist. After that happened, they deported him, and he's now in an African country unknown, jawless.
They probably sent him to the wrong
He
one.
can't even tell you how much he wants to kill himself.
What's the
Is
closest
that like
African
that,
country?
that,
Morocco,
that Jude
fuck it.
Law movie? Like, Jawless? Is it Lawless?
Lawless, jawless.
We're making movie ideas too.
Big booty Judy.
I too have an anecdotal story about cops shooting people that want to kill themselves. I there's a DJ friend of mine, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with what a serotonin dump is, or like a deficiency, or serotonin syndrome, or something of the sort of that. Which is basically you take a bunch of ecstasy and you hop up yourself with a bunch of 5-HTP, and then if you don't know a lot about ecstasy, you're gonna feel like 100% bliss, the hand of God. It's gonna smash your face, and you're gonna feel beautiful and awesome, and everything feels awesome.
I need to take
Problem
ecstasy.
with that is after ecstasy is out of your system, after MDMA is out of your system, there's nothing left that's telling your brain that this is awesome. So all your dopamine receptors are worn out, and they don't get the serotonin, and the building blocks aren't there because you've dumped all of your happy juice in your brain, and it's gone, and you have to rebuild it. So there, you're depressed. You are at your lowest you've ever been in your life, and Captain Crunch tastes like dog shit. Like, whatever, insert your
Which
favorite
could
cereal.
never fucking happen.
Right.
It
But
could.
Like, you into like a sponge, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're completely juiced
Yeah.
out.
So this guy was completely juiced out. This guy was juiced out. He
Like,
took
have you ever seen the Kool-Aid Man when he gets a crack in him?
yeah.
It's juiced out.
Yeah. Juiced out. That'll be in the next rap song. You wait for it. Like, that's gonna be the new thing. It's like, oh, I love taking MDMA and getting juiced out. What's juiced out? Oh, it's when you take ecstasy. Okay.
Juiced out with the homies.
Juiced out.
But anywho, so he's got a gun. He's a concealed carry. Someone who has a concealed and carry license. He's got a gun. He said some shit on Facebook. Somebody reported him. Cops show up at his house, and essentially he wanted to die suicide by cop. And so he just starts waving this gun around. And long story short, and it's not very dramatic or very awesome or very interesting, he gets shot and died by cops. And I don't know.
That was
Maybe-
your friend?
Yeah, just a friend of mine. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think like any friend that I've had in the past, like, that's depressing, but a lot of them are dead.
Oh, wow.
I have I have a decent amount of friends, and they're dead. But that's okay.
I was going to say sorry for your loss, but I don't think I have that much sorriness in me to cover it all. So I'll give you 2 installments of like 5 iotas of sadness every day for the next few years.
Yeah, you see that Sarah McLachlan commercial, just, sign up here for, your 25 cents.
So the moral story is hate you because otherwise I'll die.
Right, yeah, no, hate me, don't be friends, you'll die. Any advice that I give, don't take it. You'll probably end up using that advice in like a really weird way, and then you'll die. And I'll hold that guilt, and I'll think it's my fault, but I'll still live on.
And then eventually he'll die.
And the cycle will end.
You are the cause behind all death in the world.
Yeah.
Is
Oh my god, the Grim Reaper, can I have your autograph?
Is it just some type of disease? Is that it? Like,
What?
people are just born with rubbing off suicide to people?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
they
totally.
call them thought boys.
Top boys. Gosh. darn
It's
it.
interesting that euthanasia is not legal, but cops will do it for you.
It's not illegal to be
cops will
young
get
in
it
age,
done.
Eric.
Cops will get it
Right.
done, but they're trying to take that away from us too, which is why I'm pro police shooting. Because if you, I'm not.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, I am not. I'm not. Cops shouldn't shoot people, and I don't understand why why they have guns. You have places like Japan, and if you go to Japan and you get super belligerently drunk, they will take a giant mattress and just suffocate you with the mattress until you calm the fuck down, and they'll take you to the police station and you chill out. And that's it.
insane.
So they get you real comfy.
Yeah, so they'll just wrap you in a big blanket, like they'll do everything,
So do you think maybe they should start training bears to handle alcoholics?
Yeah, we should train bears. We have enough of them.
We've used them for circus acts for so long, We'll just be like, all right, Yogi, go fucking snuggle him.
I guess
That's
so.
fucked up.
No, yeah, police brutality sucks. But this is Illuminati's pizza. It's
You
so
keep saying-
fucking
okay.
good.
Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's.
What?
He knows
Lou
what he's
Malnati's.
Well, you two are from elsewhere outside the metropolitan area, so you didn't grow up with it, so I can let you off the hook. And so is he.
Wait,
I
where
really
are y'all
thought people
from?
were saying Illuminati's Pizza for the longest
Illuminati's?
time. I
Yeah,
really
dude.
actually- I was like, that's
Yeah.
strange that they would choose to go that route. All right.
It's
Illuminati's
just a
pizza.
big triangle. Right on. Come on in, guys.
I just like really fucking it up. I prefer trolling people and triggering them. If you're not familiar with the hacker 4chan, welcome.
Welcome. What is this shit?
Yeah, I'm saying, what is this shit?
Let's troll people.
Yeah. So if you have like a name that you think should be said a right way, and I'll figure out how to say it wrong, I will say it wrong.
Yeah, take that.
Spoiler alert! I hope nobody actually listens to this. Otherwise, it's gonna ruin the gag.
Ruin the gag.
Oops! This was the explanation to all the jokes.
Damn it! It's not funny anymore. You guys fucking suck.
Could you imagine like Bill Burr trying to explain why he's angry all the time?
Oh, you mean like when we watched that Doug Stanhope show and Doug Stanhope had to tell people like, "Hey, I do drugs. Could you chill out? I need to remember my bit. Or
Yeah.
else I'm not funny."
Yeah. It was interesting. If anybody ever gets a chance to see Doug Stanhope, I would do it. But that man forgot his bag in Bisbee, Arizona, with his Xanax, his Klonopin, and all those good things that make people that are fucking crazy in comics work. Not the fake ones, like John Mulaney. No, he's hilarious.
He actually is.
Too much
hilarious.
fucking tuna.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
Speaking of comedy,
Speaking of comedy,
yeah.
I really want to get into that because I could talk for days about things that don't fucking matter. But you guys actually worked at a comedy fucking store, and one of us, and I don't know who, and I won't point fingers because that might
And you won't
be
see
rude.
No one's going to see anybody pointing fingers.
Nobody would see.
I'm your finger away, man.
Hey, you put that finger down. Why are you doing gun fingers?
Yeah, there's
Because I'm
one
going to kill
thing.
myself.
Do you have a conceal and carry?
Hey,
We
hey,
should
I'm
really get people to pat down.
pro police shootings, but I'm not pro fucking pointer finger shooting. That's not
Pointer
cool.
finger.
Yeah. Well, Chris here just recently got fired from a place that they explicitly had mentioned
No,
you can never get fired here, and nobody's ever gotten fired.
it's true.
So welcome to the first person who's ever gotten fired from that comedy club.
Hello.
Yeah.
Even though I found
On
out
record,
that
at least.
somebody did get fired, the relative of one of the managers.
I mean, that was more like... Was that firing?
Well,
that
actually,
free?
he kind of threatened to kill himself.
What?
Yeah,
I heard he
and
got-
It all comes full circle. Yeah, he's the relative of one of the people in charge.
They're not going to name them for two reasons. One, it's invasion of privacy, and two, they share a name of one of the five of us, so it would be really fucking confusing.
Right. And so, anyways, he had a little bit of a rift with management there, and they had a heated argument during a show. I don't remember who was performing, but you could hear them in the showroom while it was going on. And at some point, I guess he went like, "Well, maybe I should just kill myself then." And then they took it seriously, called the specialist. And
The specialist?
Okay.
So, I'm next to the guy that threatened to kill himself.
Yeah.
people have
I
been
guess.
fired there. It happens.
It happens.
I like to live in a world where you're the first. So
Yeah.
In my world, you are the first.
Yeah.
you're the
Besides
first person
that
I've
server
known.
who fudged the numbers on checks to get more tips.
Yeah.
She's the only other one that got
That's
fired.
wild. I didn't do any of
Other
this shit.
Hilarious things that she did wrong.
I really
but-
enjoyed that we're pointing out things that Chris never even did.
Like, I'm not
Other
even
people
close
got
to
fired
that.
for.
So what did you do? Because I'm
What
ready
do
to
you
call
think?
my lawyer and pawn
What
him off to you.
Did I do? I mean, I may have been late a couple times, but so many of us are late. Look at that parking lot. Look at the parking lot that we have to go into.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
get philosophical with it.
Oh, no.
Isn't
I could.
everybody just late?
Aren't we all late? Like, life is late, okay? That's why when a woman starts out pregnant, she's late.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
No,
That
really,
was just
the truth
total
was
shit.
funny.
What else did you do wrong? Oh, you know what? Can I bring something up?
Sure.
You got to be where you're supposed to be,
Right.
if you'll recall.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Which I don't know what that means, and what I feel about management is the point of even being a manager and having a manager is to be able to give you coaching tips on what needs to improve. And if you let someone go without coaching tips, you left them in the dark completely. There's no point of a manager being there at that point.
I thought it was to be a complete and total cocksucker.
That's usually the purpose of management, is to be a complete and total cocksucker. Yeah.
You gotta be a cook.
I can't think of a thing that you did wrong to get fired, except for maybe being black. But you know,
We're not gonna go there because we're not
Let's go
gonna.
there. Let's
Okay,
go there.
do you
So-
feel that way though?
You know,
'Cause
I
you
don't
mentioned
know.
it.
I was.
If you feel that way, this is the place to do it, because nobody's going to listen to this thing.
Yeah, no one's gonna.
You know
care.
what? I'm not
And
ever
also-
gonna believe
Also,
anything.
fuck white people. I'm white. Fuck white people.
I agree.
But here's
Rich
the
people.
thing.
Fuck rich people.
I'm not gonna.
actually.
I'm not gonna
There's
believe
really cool
that
poor
no
white
one's ever gonna listen to this. Because if I listened to that kind of advice, I also would have had to listen to Eric saying no one ever actually gets fired.
That's
Well, at
that's
that
true.
time, I
That's
didn't
true.
know you were black.
To be fair, yeah, okay.
It wasn't clear.
Oh yeah.
One white man sticking up for another white man. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I have my
See how
brown
awful that
ways.
is? That's awful. Ooh.
That's quite a small sucker.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Back to racism.
back to what we were saying.
Actually, I just realized something. Didn't they fire the only other black male person working there the same weekend?
Yeah, I don't know whether or not he was fired.
So they just
but
cleaned house at the comedy club.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
said, "Fuck black people."
Right.
Or did they
Black
let?
women are still there, and there's one guy who
Right.
like
That's
might-
even worse.
There's one guy who's like half.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah, because
Is
you know the mic can't pick
He's-
up on
he looks
that.
like it.
Yeah, he is.
But which half?
He's black and white.
It's the
Yeah, which half?
Lower half.
I mean, one would hope, but you know, he might just be.
But it's
Extremely
like Barack
Caucasian.
Obama, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're fully African American and a male, it's problematic for the company. It would seem that way.
You know, you have more information on that. I've only been there for a little bit of time.
How long did you actually work there?
Almost 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
How long have you worked there, Joey?
Your
Like-
first weekend was one after his.
Yeah.
Oh,
I trained both of you, so I remember.
Yeah.
So probably about
Oh,
6
nice,
weeks.
nice. Oh, fuck! The manager's here. Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
No, but you know what? I'll
You think
tell
we'd be
you.
talking like this?
I don't know. Maybe it was actually a cool manager.
Man.
Doesn't sound like it though.
No, you know what I will tell you though is Will here. He's the shining fucking star of conduct
Yeah.
at that place. Yeah.
Too much. Too much so.
Like, dude, if there's something that needs to be done, they'll tell me to do it. They'll tell me not to do it and tell Will to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Not
I've
wrong.
seen that so many times. I'm like, so why did you ask us in the first place?
That happens at my job a lot too, though.
What do you do?
So I work at a software company, and we're
Oh.
always trying to train people because we're expanding at like a very rapid rate,
Yeah.
or we're attempting to. But what that means though is because we're at a software company and there's been only X amount of people that have been doing this thing that a larger X amount of people should have been doing in the first place. We're
Yeah.
a very niche, very smart company that is going above and beyond. So you want to always hire people that are going above and beyond, or you're just going to hire dead weight in comparison to people that are pushing out 150%. So now you want to train people, and then if you're training people and the person who's training the person's like 150% all the time, you're going to train somebody and realize they're only maybe going to be a 50% employee. And then the management starts noticing that, and they go, okay, well, we want the 50% employee around because maybe they'll one day turn into the superstar,
Yeah.
right? But we still need the employee working 150% to do the thing that we want them to do fucking right. So we're going to give this task to the 50% guy, and then Mr. 150 is going to step in and actually wreck shit and wreck shop on whatever the task was supposed to be, because we can depend on that person cleaning up everybody's messes. Throwback to brawny paper towels from episode 1. Get on it.
Is
What?
brownie paper towels?
Brawny
Yeah,
paper towel? No,
yeah.
we lost the sponsor.
Yeah, we lost a sponsor for Brownie.
Something quicker, picker upper.
Yeah. Well, you know,
But I can see that.
it's a part of life.
Bit of a tangent, but
But to go back on it though, Chris, do you feel like you were fired for the wrong
Racially,
reasons or racially?
racially
Fired?
discrimination. See, that's the thing. I don't have any information on that. I don't have. There's nothing. What?
My
do
question
you have
for
to
you
say?
is, what would be worse, if you were fired for racial reasons or fired for no reason at all?
Racial reasons.
All right, that's a dumb question. Continue.
Because racial reasons clearly, you know,
isn't
there's
like
a lot behind
getting
that.
fired for racial reasons kind of like getting fired for no reason though? Like a little bit.
Technically,
'cause
yes.
It's kind of like bullshit. Like
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to. I mean,
'Cause-
some of it's like systematic, and you're like, fuck that. There's
Yeah.
a reason, but no reason.
Yeah.
That would drive me insane. Like, I mean, I got let go for no reason at all.
Do you think that they thought you were lying
About.
about
Your mom.
Your mom. Do we even talk about
Oh,
that?
so yeah,
No.
let's go ahead and backtrack on that. My mom got out of surgery, and I had to go pick her up from the hospital the next day. So I went and picked her up. I told my boss that I'd be 15 minutes late, and she told me just take the day off and come in 30 minutes early from my shift, and that's when I knew that I was being fired. They could have easily thought that I was lying, but there's no way to know unless you ask, and I could have easily presented information that was congruent with
Right.
the truth.
It seemed like they didn't really care.
Not at all.
Although if they didn't believe you, that explained why they never asked how she was doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it?
But it's also funny because I got to leave work early for a family emergency. Yeah, that's right, folks. I'm air quoting. I literally told them that I had a family emergency, that I had to go pick up my brother. I didn't give them very much information, but they had no problem me leaving.
What day was this on?
It was like,
Friday,
It's important.
I think.
Did you talk to
It
them?
was on a Friday?
yeah.
Oh, really? And
That
they
was
were
the
cool?
big red flag for me. Really, on a Friday,
Yeah.
double show Friday.
What about it?
You're gonna let me have the entire day off? I don't believe.
Right, when you
you know-
didn't ask for it either.
Right, because it would only be 15 minutes late. So, that's when I knew.
I can't believe they just didn't fucking call you.
You know,
Like,
jobs are
they're like,
shitty.
Hey, you
Yeah.
wanna
Where do you-
come in? So
where
I
do you
can
live,
get
though?
fired?
I live in Villa Park.
Villa Park.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that kind of sucks then, because that's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lucky not to work there. If I could not work there, I would do that.
I'm
I would
not
make that
lucky
choice.
not to work there.
It seems like a good, interesting place to work. Like if I wasn't in the whole software thing, that's kind of like I have my bucket list of like quote unquote shit jobs that I like to work, which I've applied for before I got into like software and technical roles. I've always wanted to be a pizza delivery guy. Never got the pizza delivery drive because I like driving, and I like listening to podcasts. So I'm like, fuck, listen to podcasts, driving, smoking meth, done.
Don't need teeth anyways.
Exactly.
Less money to worry about. You don't have
Exact-
to go to the dentist now.
Yeah, exactly. But I never got hired for those jobs. I thought it'd be cool to be a barista. Could never get a job at like a Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or any of that shit. Because I'm like, I like coffee. I'll just get jacked up on coffee all day, and then nobody will realize I'm on a lot of cocaine because I'm so I'm just keep drinking coffee.
So, didn't you just mention meth?
What?
You mentioned
Yeah.
meth, right?
Depending on my
Meth
job would depend on what job.
And
like,
coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever see those rock candy spoons?
No, I have not.
It's like the little spoons that the stirs that you get in your your drink for your coffee cup. Or
Sure,
whatever.
let's go
And-
with yes.
So I would have like a meth stir, and there would just be like crystalline meth on the coffee stir.
Now I'm like, I have a mental picture of putting meth on a margarita
Yeah.
glass and just, it's not salt, it's meth.
Somebody in this world is doing that tonight.
Somebody, yeah.
Who's doing? Are you?
Maybe
Actually-
I can't afford it right now.
Do you wanna?
I don't get paid for at least
Yeah,
another.
that is expensive, man.
You would know.
That's an
I don't know.
expensive margarita.
It's a
I'm
crystal
going
method.
based on Breaking Bad.
That's
Yeah, we don't do drugs.
I am
just-
a Christian.
You have a Christian?
Yes, I have one. It's in my pocket.
Oh my God! There's a video
Pocket Christian.
that I want you to see. Oh, it's so nasty.
Actually, real quick though, Chris needs to tell you what I'm sure he's told these two, but he hasn't told you, Adam. Chris, please enlighten why people should not be nice people and help people get to the places that they need to be.
Oh, that shit. Okay, so I was helping this one guy who had a story about, long story short, his family was from Florida. His daughter's here. They're in a hotel. They need help. So I gave him like $10 at that point.
They're in a hotel. They have to escape. What's
No. Oh, okay. So here. Okay.
Owen
You
Wilson.
gotta back this up. 'Cause
They-
also for the audience, like, dude, people are listening, getting
Right,
like ADD stories.
They need
Like,
help.
Where do you live? Meth spoons.
So they needed more money for the hotel room for the night. They had someone in the front that was holding the room for them, so they were waiting to get the extra money for the room. So I gave him $10. I gave him my number because I worked right down the street from where he was. Long story short, one of the days that I decided to help him, he asked to get picked up and dropped off somewhere. And I picked him up, and he gets in my car. We drive off to where he needs to go. Excuse me. He told me where else to go to get to his hotel room. And as I'm driving on the highway on 290 West, he decides to do this. So I look over, and this motherfucker's doing crack in my car.
Oh shit!
What did it smell like?
Dude, I tried not to smell it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know
get
anything about
secondhand
drugs.
crack?
There you
Oh,
go.
I don't know.
I don't know about secondhand crack. So I just
Yeah.
They don't
so
tell you
I
about
decided, you know what? I'm driving. I'd rather, cause see, I've been in a situation where somebody like started inhaling poppers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is, Eric.
Crackers, poppers. Right?
What the
Or we
fuck? I don't know what
talking
crackers
lipids?
are.
No,
No,
maybe
no,
not.
you're talking
Different.
about poppers is like videotape cleaner, right?
Yeah, wait,
Sure.
what's your
Sure.
popper? What's your popper?
It's a drug.
All right, cool.
I thought you were talking about food, crackers, poppers, jalapenos. You know,
No.
it's breaded, right? No.
No, I was thinking like whippets, like like
Compressed
computer
air.
duster.
Sure,
Well,
something
these are all
similar.
different things, actually.
Something, or yeah,
They're all
Just-
inhalants.
Can we
Yeah.
just point out that all of us white guys know more about drugs than this black man?
Yeah.
So if
Race.
anybody's racist, take this from the podcast. White people are doing the drugs. Black people, leave them the fuck
No, that's
alone.
that's a fact. Crack is the invention by the CIA.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, and if you don't, get learned. Figure
Crack.
that out, because this podcast isn't going to teach you
Did you
shit.
say get learned?
Yeah.
I'll
Go
look
on with
into
your
it.
story.
Look
Y'all
it up.
have, you know what? And I've lived in the South. Y'all have really, really horrible English up here.
I do it on purpose.
Get learned.
Yeah,
Yeah, do we have to explain this again?
I'll
we
explain the joke.
we learned how to talk. Somebody was gonna learn me how to talk, but they never learned me, so I tried to teach myself.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway,
yeah.
um,
No, it's a beautiful thing, the English language. I just, I don't boast about my prowess, because I think it's more funny to talk Southern and then sometimes talk Asian and then talk, everything else that I'm not. I'm like an amoeba. So why
Asian?
not? Yeah.
let's hear this Asian shit.
No. I immediately regretted saying the Asian thing.
I also
I
want
was
to
like,
point out
talk
these.
Asian, what the fuck does that mean? But no. The language part.
Joseph.
You wanted to point something out.
Yeah, that you were like, I don't want to boast about my prowess, but you said boast and prowess in the same sentence.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. 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 So then there's that too.
Tell us about the poppers.
Poppers.
Oh
You're in
yeah,
the
some
middle of a fucking
dude,
story.
some dude was like doing poppers around me. And I didn't like that shit.
Right, and for people that don't know, poppers is a slang term given broadly to the chemical class called alkyl nitrites that are inhaled for recreational drug purposes, typically for the high or
Whippets.
rush that
Yeah.
the drug can create.
Whippets.
It's actually not whippets.
Oh.
It's some shit that they sell as room deodorizers, leather polish, or tape head cleaner. You just sniff it, it's just whatever. Go on.
So Eric, let me ask you about your experiences with poppers.
I've never done it, but I know that it was like a big thing when ecstasy first became a thing.
Was like
People
what, the
used it,
80s?
I guess late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, like
People
Vicks.
would do it. Yeah, like Vicks.
Like Vicks.
All
stuff.
manner of
That
inhalants
makes
kind of
sense.
can make it better.
Yeah, you ever do like a Vicks, like Vicks bra, like get like some Vicks, and then like you're on a bunch of ecstasy, but you're
Not to
burning
get
up.
high.
No, you wouldn't use it to get high. You use
It's
it
great
to.
for everything.
Yeah, you just use it to clear up your senses. Because it's so potent, and you're on ecstasy, and everything that you do, like touching a sweater, is now a fuzzy wall or some bullshit, So now imagine
Fuzzy wall.
Yeah.
Ecstasy is a great drug.
You ever just smell
In
your
moderation.
leather? You ever just touch your leather?
Yeah,
Yeah, I only tried it once.
Bullshit.
Nice.
But fuck the drug talk.
Yes.
Poppers was going somewhere. You had this whole
Okay,
story.
that
If
was the
there's
thing.
anything that anybody should get out of this is a single coherent story.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, some guy was doing poppers around me, but that
Yeah.
had something to do with the other story.
The guy smoking crack in your car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, did we not finish that one?
We did not finish that
didn't
one.
We didn't finish a single goddamn
We didn't
story.
finish your first story, as a matter of fact. But that's
Okay, we're gonna have
It's
to.
really
Yeah, we're gonna
our
have to
fault.
start.
We just keep, telling Chris
Okay,
to tell all the stories.
So here's the thing. Recently, when I went back to Nashville, I used to live there. One of the guys I used to hang out with decided to assault me in my car, but I wasn't driving, so that's a good thing.
Wait, is this the hotel guy or not?
Not the hotel guy, but this is the reason I did what I did in that situation. So, because I had a flashback
Yeah.
of that, I decided I'm going 70 miles per hour. I'm not really going to confront him, but I am going to tell him to put it away. And he's like, let me get one more drag. Just, oh my God, I'm so happy right now. So, he decides to continue, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm driving. I'm not going to, not going to do anything else. I'm just going to peacefully drive him back home and get the fuck out, because I immediately could see us fighting over his little crack pipe and me hitting something while we are driving 70 miles per hour.
Right.
Crazy shit. This is why you never help people.
So you don't think it's okay to fight with people that are doing crack?
I don't think it's okay to risk your life in a
others.
situation, right?
Yeah,
and
I
others.
How
Mhm.
fucked up would it be? All right, scenario, right? You stop him, he ends up getting hurt or whatever, but then you end up getting fucking sent to jail for almost killing him.
Yeah,
Happens all the time.
'Cause
It happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Happens all
that's
the
a
it does.
It does. It's a real thing. You don't want to fight people, man. The best case scenario, they kill you, or you get a lawyer, and then you're like, he hurt me, and then you just deal with it.
Next
So
thing you know, you're
whoever-
looking for rides so you can smoke crack.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
endless cycle.
That sucks, though. You got fired. So what?
You've gone through so much already.
You've been through so much.
For folks listening at home and not watching our stream, because there's one of those, you're really missing out.
Yeah. Eyes over here.
He was in the middle of drinking when I said that.
I
He's an asshole.
I'm living a country song.
You're living
That's-
a country song?
That's it. I'm living a country
Why
song.
didn't you give him the red solo cup, Joey?
That's not a country song.
It's not. It's kind of like pop, isn't it?
It's
like
horrible.
It's awful.
I will
Do you like country,
forever.
though?
Yes, I do.
What kind of... I like listening to all sorts of music. I really do. But I haven't found country music appealing when I do get into it. So...
It's total trash. country music. That's the main reason.
I will kill you.
You know, it'd be a good
Damn.
country music shirt though, and I don't know if it would be for country or it would be a joke making fun of country music.
They wouldn't get it either way. Go on.
Yeah, you're right. So you have on a
Damn.
T-shirt, you have ex-wife, tree, and a music note.
Get the fuck.
Ah,
That's
country
pretty-
music.
Apparently he gets it. I don't get
That's
it.
so
How do you-
horrible.
Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Explain
Are you
the joke.
depicting an ex-wife?
Yeah,
somehow?
yeah. So you have like a woman.
A
It doesn't
bride.
have to be a or a
It's a
bride.
woman with
Bride
an X.
for a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a tree, and then a fucking music note,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
without obviously putting country on the fucking shirt, it'd just be like country music. If anybody would look at the
The ex-wife is the cunt.
Vagina.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a
sorry.
thing.
Oh, I get
I
it.
was pretty loud in that situation.
No, that's fine.
I was just
They
thinking.
should know.
you know,
It was a cunt.
oh, and also
Damn, that's pretty good.
And I don't know if any of you guys, if you guys have as any extreme stories as people in your car doing crack,
Oh, I've been
but
there. Been there.
please, enlighten
he's from
us. If you
he's
have
from
something.
Florida.
Yeah. I've
So-
had a lot of crack smokers in my car. in my time.
You've met
That's
a lot
also
of
a
crack
thing that we never
smokers in
finished
your-
No,
uh,
I've had them.
talking about in the podcast is where everybody was from.
Question:
Yeah.
is it true that Florida has the highest rate of animal abuse crimes?
Define
I don't-
abuse.
Define abuse. A way that well, I wouldn't put it that way. I was gonna say any way that you would not want to be treated, but apparently people are into that SMM and BDMS. I don't know, CDMA, GSM. I don't know what the fuck. I don't.
FBI, CIA.
Right, I don't do this shit.
It's a fucking setup, man.
Just,
So, how do you define abuse?
Like this.
he's
Somebody
humping the
narrate.
air right now.
Are you is that what you're saying? People are sexually assaulting, Floridians are sexually assaulting their animals?
Yes.
I don't know, but probably.
They do that everywhere, though.
Alabamaans do the same.
Well, you can't count Alabama because like they have farms there, right?
They have farms everywhere. in every state. They have farms in Rhode Island. They have farms in Alaska.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Florida seems so fucked up is because I think there's some law in the books in Florida that anything reported to the police is automatically public record. So that's why every crazy thing that ever happens in Florida, everyone already knows.
Wow.
Hence Florida man.
Yes.
Florida man.
Yeah.
Huh.
That should be
That
a
makes
superhero
sense.
or a supervillain.
Who's Florida man?
A superhero.
He's like 4chan.
Florida man's just like the meme. There's so many stories that come out. Florida man sticks his dick in his animal.
Florida man eats someone's face off, maybe zombie.
All right.
Everybody remember
So,
that
Yeah,
one,
I remember
right?
that.
anybody
Yeah.
who
Bath
does something in
salts.
Florida.
Yeah. Bath salt's hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong with people from Florida. There's no doubt about it.
It's probably because they have relaxed mushroom laws. Interesting fact about Florida, you can just pick mushrooms.
Is that true?
Yes. You just
In
pick
all
mushrooms.
parts? I don't know if that changes from place to place.
It might.
but
Oh, maybe it's county to county inside Florida. Yeah. Okay.
We definitely picked a lot of mushrooms. My friend got gored by a bull once picking mushrooms.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah, he was fine though. You know,
He was fine.
these things happen.
So
Yeah, it's
if-
hilarious.
If I were to
It's Florida,
move,
I mean,
Right.
You have a
man
video
gored
for
by a
it?
bull picking mushrooms.
if I were to move to Florida, what things should I be aware of?
Alligators.
Well, it's different because
Snakes.
for the listeners, you're talking about moving to South Florida,
Yes,
which is an
Tampa.
entirely.
Tampa
Oh, you're
Central
talking about
Florida.
Tampa?
Tampa.
Oh, you don't want to live in Tampa.
Nobody wants to live in Tampa.
Yeah, they have
Why?
oranges and they
Yeah,
frost in
no
the
one
winter.
does. If you're gonna move to Florida, go to South Florida. Do yourself
Miami?
a favor because it's not good. Even South Florida is fucked up, but Central
Jesus.
Florida is a shithole. If you want to hang out with heroin junkies that are fucking well-to-do white privilege,
How is that any different than here?
I think it's just a numbers game.
The weather,
Oh.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Weather is
weather is so
maybe better.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I feel like fucking sweating.
I
Yeah.
want to sweat.
If you're concerned about any people doing drugs and stuff, you just have to go to the coldest place because then you won't see them. They'll still be doing it, Like,
Yeah,
if you
just
go
going to
That
do it in the
might be
closet.
Key as fuck, actually.
Key as
Yeah.
fuck.
Holy shit.
Because in order to
I
do
hadn't
drugs
thought
like
that.
nowhere else,
Yeah.
Fairbanks, fucking Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entire city's high there for like 8 months every winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think.
Alaska has a huge drug problem, actually, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're not doing anything else. You can't go anywhere. Of course you're going to fucking do drugs.
What else can you
But
do?
also, if you live in Alaska, you'll never see them because you can't go anywhere.
Unless you look in the mirror.
Yeah. Or through the people.
Yeah.
Of your
Or you're on a bad trip and you see everything. Oh,
No, that's right.
is
Maybe.
that not talk?
What?
What?
I don't know.
What?
Come on! I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, are you on drugs?
I invited you, right?
I could
I thought I
be.
texted you all the time.
You know
Find
what?
drugs.
Look, man, whatever makes you feel
All
comfortable.
right, define drug. Okay, so this is what I think. I think that my brain is deteriorating from the amount of heat or air conditioning, whatever, I'm around in my vehicle. I work
Yeah.
with the railroad,
Okay.
so it's not a
You
serious
work
thought.
alongside the railroad.
I work.
Are you a part of the railroad industry?
You've been working on the railroad all the live long day?
I am a part of the railroad industry.
Are you union?
Almost.
Almost.
We're union, but they don't
You don't have that privilege.
do shit. Like,
You're a crappy union.
yeah, our union is so shitty that we're supposed to be
It's like a
suing.
grocery store union. It's like, what the fuck? is
Worse
that?
than that. We're so bad that we're supposed to be suing the company for not giving us raises from 2 years ago, and it's still not
You're
working.
supposed to be suing.
Yeah,
Saying.
we're supposed to be suing them.
That sounds like my insurance company. Some guy hit me. Some guy T-boned me in Chicago, and then he insisted we go to the police station. I'm like, look, man, here's my insurance. You give me your insurance. We'll fucking figure this out tomorrow. It's 10 o'clock at night. I want to go to this party. Everybody's okay. Let's fucking deal with it. Blessing in disguise, this asshole insisted on going to the police station, and thank goodness he did, because he was driving around in a car that wasn't his. It was a dealer's license plate. It was reported stolen, and like XYZ other things.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you're like an idiot. Why did you, you know? So, long and short, my shit is still in subjugation, and I can't get any money back from from my insurance company. So now there's lawyers like, yeah, we have a date, court date. So we'll figure that out. I'm like, court date? Why are we going to court over this? This guy is so fucking wrong. It should not have been my fault. Why did I pay out money to get my car fixed and all this other stuff? Da, 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 da. You know, that's what the insurance is for, right? It's all scams, whatever. So,
Holy shit.
That's wild
yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah.
So you do have crazy stories.
Oh, we all do.
Let's go ahead and explore
Yeah.
y'all's crazy stories.
My
Yeah.
stories aren't that crazy though. They're very boring and Caucasian.
All right, well, you'll
Very-
go first then.
What's your first Caucasian story?
Yeah, give me some Caucasian stories.
Yeah.
Like when the only time I ever really did drugs was huffing whiteout during driver's ed.
What the fuck?
That's
Yeah,
kind of
how'd that
interesting.
go?
Except it wasn't during driver's ed, it was before driver's ed, and it was they were going to learn to drive on the highway, and it was like with a third-party company that came to my school. It's like, okay, you and this other kid who go to the school, you show up there at 3:30, and then you drive off. We had 4 of those things, and this one day, thank God, the other kid beat me there so I could pass the fuck out in the back seat. If you haven't ever huffed whiteout, it feels like your head is cracking open like one of those like chocolate oranges that like you pop it and then it goes like bloop, like a flowering bud or
A Wonder Ball?
Sure, I
haven't
guess.
done that yet, but I mean, sounds
I know.
good. Yeah.
It's like
You're
I
really
don't know why.
selling it.
I don't know why anybody wants to do that more than once. It was not enjoyable. Just like, oh.
Wait,
crap.
but who gave you that idea?
Here's the thing, though. I thought I had huffed whiteout before, like getting a passing like smell, hovering like this, like 2 hands length away from my nose. This time, like right after my nose, like, oh god, bad idea. That was during 7th period biology class. 8th period, I freaked the fuck out in the study hall, and 9th period was English class, and that was actually a special day because we were going to go up to this little tower thing in my high school where you can see all the way like downtown in one direction and Wisconsin in the other direction. So that was all cool and all, but I was freaking out the whole time, like, oh god, do not fall over the edge, do not fall over the edge, do not fall over the edge.
Oh my
So that kind
god.
of tarnished that experience. Then,
High or crippling anxiety? I don't. You know.
Who
Yeah.
told you? Who told you to do that?
Me?
Himself.
Just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I was-
Himself.
He's like, I'm white. I'm gonna get whited out.
All right. Well, for the listeners, do us a favor. Tell all your friends to smoke weed. It's the safest fucking drug. Okay? Because apparently, if you don't tell your white friend to do marijuana, he'll decide to do whiteout.
Plot twist. He didn't do whiteout because the cap was still on, and that was just a dream of how he thought he did whiteout.
No, the cap is off.
Oh, you fucked up,
A
brother.
contributing factor was that was like group work, and I was with this one girl from high school who I really fucking hated, and everybody else really fucking hated her. She was the kind of person who's like, she's awkward, then you try to be nice to her, and it's like, oh, this is why everybody hates you. like that kind of person. Like, she makes things worse. Like, her breath stinks, you give her a breath mint, and you see her spit it out 2 seconds later. It's like, your breath is making me feel ill. Please just stop being offensive or whatever like that.
Have you ever smelled dick on another girl's breath before?
What?
No.
Okay, now I'm not interested enough.
I've not smelled enough dicks to know what a dick smells like.
You should try to smell.
Well, how many? You said enough.
Yeah.
How many have you?
Well, as long as there's no cameras rolling, might as well get that shit done now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't ask any of us if you can masturbate in front of us first.
Yeah, dude, you have to ask first.
Well, unlike stupid Louis C.K. when I have you all sign like fucking waivers and shit so you can't sue me.
Can we talk about Louis C.K.? I know, Joe, you got some opinions there.
Oh, well, yeah, in my opinion, I don't understand why everybody's fucking giving him such a hard time. You fucking ass! Like, dude, if I walked up to you and I was like, hey, well, by the way, verbatim here, like, I don't pee on people, okay? But if I had a fetish that I like peeing on people and I fucking asked you and you said no, or if you said yes, and then I started doing it and you got upset with me, you're just being a fucking cunt, okay? You're being a cunt. You said yes.
All right. Well, somebody who went to college and literally has a bachelor's in comedy writing and performance and knows a bunch of other comedians, I'm not allowed to agree with you or my career is fucking over.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Well, I think that's why I asked you specifically, Joe, because you're on one end of the spectrum that I don't think very many people are on that side. Despite the fact that, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinions, there's not really a better comedian in the last, 5-10 years than Louis.
Yeah.
And I think he's well beloved by women and men alike. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to me how quickly
He
people
used to
have
not be,
completely
though.
shut him down.
That's the only interesting thing that I found was like Louis. He used to be like an awful and butt end of the joke for a lot of comics. Like from what my understanding, listening to a lot of random podcasts that kind of nobody listens to, and that's really where the gold is, because you get these failed LA artists that are like, well, I'm not going to be famous ever, and I'm never going to get that gig again because I fucked it up. So I'm going to tell you that one time when I used to, hang out with Mitzi, at the Comedy Store or whatever in LA, and or wherever the fuck Comedy Store is in California. But anywho, just a lot of sometimes when you realize you've done too many drugs and like you can't like remember what you were actually going.
Right.
When you're just like, oh, here we go. Oh, the brain's broken.
If it makes you feel better, completely sober people that have never done drugs have that same issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's different. It's not. Oh, why did I do all those drugs? It's
Yeah. There's no regret.
why
There's
am I
just
such an
emptiness.
idiot?
Okay.
But
I just have an excuse to lean on. Everybody else is just
Exactly.
like, oh well.
But I know what you
But-
mean, talking about how he wasn't there for the longest
But yeah, he
time.
wasn't that popular. That's right, exactly. Yeah, he wasn't that popular. Everybody made fun of him. He was like
He was
wasn't
just
that
sort of Chris Rock's guy
right.
for a while.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he was
He put him in
fucking.
charge of Pootie Tang and
Yeah.
some shit.
So, are you
Right.
saying that
Louis C.K.
progressively
Louis C.K.
he's gotten better?
Yeah.
He's gotten better. He's gotten
Okay.
better. So he's not really a legend, because like a legend would be someone like, I would argue someone like Doug Stanhope or something, right? Because that guy has always fucking killed. Chris Pryor always fucking killed. Like those guys always fucking murdered. For the most part. I mean, everybody has their off nights. Whatever. But Louis C.K. he only has gotten popular in the last, like, what, 10, maybe 15
10
years? 10 years, right, yeah. 15
I don't know.
probably.
You could give him 15. I
Yeah.
think. I think there's some.
It was
argument
until
for
like
that.
2011 where if you went to YouTube and typed in Louis C.K., you would always get the first result being that bit about baby names and like why is this guy living
Yeah.
with his kid and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
With that said, yeah, right. I'm sorry, you were about to say anything.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, with that said, it's not that popular, so it's kind of weird that all this shit is happening right after everybody wants to, forget about Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, like two really fucked up people. When in hindsight, because they have the privilege, and they're fucking around with kids,
Yeah,
adolescent
my opinion
people,
on that.
and
Don't
so
do it.
here's an adult talking to other adults, and they had a conversation and they consented one way or another, and maybe Louis did do some fucked up things. Like, I don't think I would ever ask somebody, hey, can I masturbate in front of you, and then like not assume that they thought I was being funny. It's kind of like if I'm being like bluntly racist in front of somebody, I hope to God they don't assume that I'm actually racist, because I'm not. Like, it's just like, yeah, let's go on a lynching party, everybody, woo! Like, not a fucking thing.
Chris,
I hope
thoughts?
everybody.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. But,
However,
but jerking. But if you're a comedian and you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna jerk off in front of you, you probably think that guy's off his rocker and is
which
just joking.
he is.
Which he's joking. But then the moment he rips out his dick, you should have been like, oh fuck,
Oh shit!
this isn't a joke, and then they should have walked out the room. But from my understanding, they just hung out and laughed as this dude was jerking off. This dude being Louis C.K. But from my understanding, they just kind of laughed. And then the other time was, hey, no thanks. And then he said, oh, okay. And then apologized for a thing that he didn't do, which is what made it weird, because he was like, hey, I'm sorry I pushed you into a bathroom or something. And it's like, that wasn't even me.
I don't know, man. It's wild.
So it is. But
I have to ask you guys a
Yeah.
question. So, what is worse for a career, especially a comedy career? Someone in a situation like Louis C.K., where he's exposing himself to people, or someone who steals jokes and is known for stealing jokes?
joke stealing.
Yeah.
Not joke recycling, because there is a difference
Joke
between
recycling's different, yeah.
stealing and recycling, or
Cryptomnesia.
Yeah.
kryptonite.
I definitely
As they
go
call
with
it.
joke stealing. 'Cause
I don't know
like
what
I said, in
cryptomnesia
my
is, though.
opinion, the Louis C.K. thing, I feel like they just weren't being adults. Fucking laughing at him and watching him do it, like, dude.
Yeah,
they're
see,
a
that
bunch of
part I
fucking
didn't know.
bullies. Bunch of
Oh.
fucking bullies.
But how do you put that together with his apology? Because to hear him talk about it, he feels very sorry about it, and he
Yeah.
thinks that he took advantage of his status and people's affection for him as a comedian and as a entertainment personality.
Because he's a
And I
human
th-
being, yeah, and he's going to be apologetic. And
Or
I
do you
know,
think he said those things because he knew that was the way to get some, like...
Closure?
Not closure, but, like, renown back,
closure for them, though,
I
yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
To save his ass.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you think that's why he did it? Well,
I didn't read the apology section. Knew I was not going to process it correctly.
I read some of it.
What did you think? Did you think it seemed insincere or sincere?
I think it seemed sincere, especially because there were a lot of cuss words in it, which,
Right?
usually people that are insincere, they think too much. He actually kind of processed that the way he would as a comic. I feel that yeah, there's that status thing, and there's also the knowledge of the fact that these people are afraid of losing their position. Maybe that's a weird
And the
word.
fact that they could.
Because there's some sexism, there's some underlining sexism in there. If you're presented as a woman in this day and age with somebody who's doing some fucked up shit, and the person who's doing fucked up shit so happens to be a male that's in power, then you probably don't want to
Say
be
no.
the bitchy person that's going to ruin somebody's career, and now you can't be quote unquote trusted in the boys club.
Right.
And that's what comedy
Oh,
is
yeah.
like a big boys club. So I get that end, and I think that's really why Louis is sincerely apologetic about it. I don't think he's apologetic for the actual act per se. Like, I don't think he's like conflicted with that because I mean, you guys are complete strangers, so you guys have absolutely. I can give you a brief story that kind of makes me conflicted by the whole situation. And you guys are complete strangers. I don't know you. First time meeting you, so you can have like an actual opinion on this, and you're not like a friend that's gonna try to buff my ego or something. So I got a weird relationship. She ended up breaking up with me. I hit up this girl that was interested in me. I laid it on her after a couple bowls, and like we were like, okay, smoke some bowls, smoke some weed, listen to some rap music, listen to metal music, whatever. And the long and short of it was, I looked at her and go, hey, I know you're kind of interested in a relationship. I don't want a relationship with you, but if you just want to fuck, because I watch porn, you watch porn, and that's the ultimate goal, is to get the fuck off. So if you want to hit me up, I'll be your booty call, you be my booty call. Like, that's like the brass, like...
Did you say it just like
No,
that?
I did not. No, I did not. I'm saying it to like... I'm saying it to get like, you know...
I'm like, you have no game, just
Yeah.
too direct.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, though, I try to be as direct as possible, because now Louis C.K., if he had game and then whipped out his dick and started jerking off with all that game, isn't game just confusing women to say yes to something that they didn't realize
Yeah.
that they were saying yes to, and now they're in a situation where they're like, fuck it, I'm doing this.
I think
Sort
that
of.
definition of game, I think that's what a lot of people do.
That's what a lot of people
I don't
do.
know that that's strictly what you should be
Right.
trying to do.
So I try to be more blunt because I don't like the idea of manipulating people. So I just say, at a certain point, I go, yes, this is what I'm looking at. I didn't use the word booty call. I didn't say, let's fuck.
Wait, you didn't say this like the booty warrior?
Yeah, I didn't,
Like, I likes you.
Yeah.
I wants you.
No,
We can
keep
do
going.
this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Did you say that?
No.
You should have.
I should have. I need to take
Booty
tips
was
from
more
Chris.
important than water.
I need to take tips from Chris. You can hang out. Fuck these other guys. But so that was the long and short of it. So we smoked some more weed. She said nah, like smoke more weed, hung out for like another half hour, listening to hip hop music and whatever, because she's an aspiring, and maybe too much information I'm giving out here, but she's an aspiring rapper.
Her name was Jessica.
Right. Her name was Jessica. Yeah.
Wait,
an aspiring
it was
rapper.
not.
No,
right?
no,
Oh,
it was
thank
not.
God.
It was not Jessica.
Thank
It's not
God.
Jessica. But now it's narrowing it down. Fuck. Everybody knows it's not Jessica.
Right. Her name was Jessica. She was on the 800 block of Narragansett.
She's
I don't know
Paulina
these-
and 18.
I'm
Right.
really sorry for the
Paulina.
Jessica that does live
It's
there.
Paulina.
It's Paulina. Oh, man,
I hate that word.
Yeah.
Paulina.
Did she say yes, say no?
She said no, and then we continued to hang out for like a good half hour to smoke weed. She was not down with the casual relationship that I proposed. The next day, I receive a text from her, and she blows up and says, "I am not a slut. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You should never think about women this way. Yada, yada, yada." And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, well, fuck, I guess I'm inherently sorry because that's not the way I wanted you to feel. I tried to handle it like an adult. So now to Louis C.K. and all this thing that's happening is a lot of these stories are a lot of, hey, Louis asked me that he could masturbate in front of me, and I said yes, and then he totally did it. So he was trying to tell people, I'm into some fucked up shit, let's do some fucked up shit together, and then they thought he was joking, and then lo and behold, he had some skeletons in his closet, and it was called being a perv. And so now what I'm hearing is, it should be illegal to be a pervert. And then I'm like, well, yeah, so you guys got my story. We'll
It
just do
is
this round
completely
robin.
illegal to be a pervert, and that's what sucks about
Yeah. So,
certain parts of that.
Yeah.
Like,
so-
for example, this was like really, really weird, but there was this guy randomly that I met. Like,
He's in your fucking car, wasn't he?
no, he was not in
He
my
was his
car
smoking crack.
doing
Same
crack.
guy.
No,
Should we
this
just
guy
make
that
a
I randomly.
podcast in Chris's car?
People I've given rides to.
No, I didn't give him a ride or anything. But this
Comedians
guy
giving rides, smoking
randomly.
crack.
By the way, plot twist on your story. She was actually a prostitute. She was mad that you didn't offer money. That's why she didn't sleep with.
That's probably why
It's
she
really
was pissed.
casual.
She was-
Keep it really casual,
I
right?
was proposing sex to a prostitute. That's why.
And she called
How
her.
dare you?
How dare you? I'm not a whore. I need
not-
money.
I'm a sophisticated catwalker.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was this guy that I was randomly like talking to. I think I was waiting for the bus somewhere in the western burbs. He starts asking me about living in the South, and he's like, "You ever live in the South?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Nashville." And he's like, "You ever been to Mississippi?" Long story short, he used to live. He used to live
South
in
in your mouth.
There's some South in your mouth. He used to live in Mississippi, and he was an adult at the time. But this story about how this black lady that he knew was like a caregiver for 2 white children.
Wait a second.
I don't know
Is
why,
this story from the 50s?
dude. That's what I was thinking. What kind of shit? What kind of shit did you mustered up? Okay, mustered up. So here's the thing.
Is that like poppers?
Yeah.
It's
So-
more like whiteout.
Like white out. So he's talking about how she spanks the children, but instead of just spanking the children, she spanks them nude. And so it gets like really,
Yeah.
really freaky, and like you can tell he's like getting excited over this type of shit. And I'm like,
How could you tell he was getting excited?
oh, you could tell. You could tell it wasn't like,
Pants tent?
I don't know. I wasn't looking.
Were you the baby?
No! Why don't you come be my little baby? No, but like you could definitely tell it in his voice and the way he was speaking that this was exciting him. And it kind of pissed me off because that's completely legal.
Yeah.
If he told me he touched a child, that would be illegal.
Right.
And I could do something. But I cannot call the police on his perverted thoughts.
Right.
And that's what's fucked up.
Yeah. Right.
Is it fucked up? You don't want to pursue thought crimes.
No, you don't
That's
wanna
not a
pursue
thing you
thought
wanna have to
crimes.
deal with.
But
They got
it's
really-
interesting
they got really
though.
cool animes.
But it's
so then,
fucked
what
up.
do you think? What do you think then, in light of Louis' thing? Because it kind of triggered me and my thing that happened like moons ago now. What do you think? Do you think men shouldn't be allowed to talk to women like that? Do you, like you can't propose perverted things?
Let's not act like women don't do the same. I've heard
I agree with
plenty women. Bitch, I just want to fuck.
yeah.
Like,
Man, I feel like a fucking virgin.
was that
Jesus.
good? Was that good? Did
was
that
pretty
sound
good.
good?
I thought.
Okay, I can do
close
the
my
black
eyes and
girl's
Okay,
voice.
do it again.
Bitch, I just want to fuck.
Dude, that's Tanisha.
That's Tanisha. That's Watermelon Drea.
Wait, what?
Watermelon Drea.
I like how he joined in.
Wait. Your teeth are blue as fuck. So yeah, I mean, I remember being on the CTA and this lady was kind of tipsy and she came. I was with my dad. She came up to me and she was like, "Excuse me, but you got some fine ass fucking lips." What the fuck else do you do with
What?
lips? Like, let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew
Um,
these myself.
I grew these myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, women do the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just
I need to find these women, dude.
No, it's real. You just gotta know the situation that you're in. You know, I mean, you could absolutely be blunt and
Yeah.
forthcoming about what you want with the woman who's also blunt and forthcoming with what she wants. The thing is, you gotta know who you're fucking talking to, and that goes for every situation, basically. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being like, hey, I'd like to have sex with you. Are you interested? But when you get darker than that, like in Louis' situation, I'm not saying it's dark, right? Because you don't want to call anyone's perversion besides maybe like pedophilia or like bestiality dark.
Right.
It's
is
just
this
a
coming
little
from
bit-
a Florida man?
Yeah.
This is coming from the Florida man, so I don't trust it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that in Louis' situation, he's asking them not like, you know, can we fuck? He's saying like, can I just jerk my dick in front of you? And that's a little bit, I don't know, it's just displeasing even to imagine being the woman, I think. Because
yeah,
girls
but-
do maybe like to watch guys jerk off, but like in a sort of organic setting. Like,
What's
Are we at
organic?
fucking Whole Foods?
Right. It's,
no, but I'm saying like you've never been with like a girl who's like, I just want to watch you.
I didn't know this
stroke
was
your dick.
cucumbers and eggplants.
you?
I don't know what
Yeah,
the fuck.
absolutely.
Oh, that's
Girl-
so. I've
Wait,
never
you've had a.
that.
See, we need to
Girls
hang out
are
with
good.
your kind of women.
He's got the leather. He's the only man in the room with a leather jacket. Of course, he's getting.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's a vegan, so he shouldn't be
Actually,
wearing that.
according to a girl that
That's
I
not
just
real
talked
leather.
to, bald and bearded is the new fucking hype.
Yes, it is. That's why I
need
told
to
you.
Shave my head.
Shave your head.
And
Because it's the confidence.
You should
thing.
shave your head. That has nothing to do with
wait, so
the
then
confidence.
Eric and I can
I'm
both look
bald
like white
ish
supremacists.
and bearded.
Yeah.
I have a little hair. Just a
Eric,
little.
yeah, I'll
yeah.
fucking shave my head for
But-
you. We'll just walk around like some Popsy
Listen,
twins.
we're gonna get fucking murdered.
All right. Well, was your did I come on too strong with the lady friend? Was I just as bad as Louis?
I got lost very early in that story, and I was hoping you forget to ask me.
Oh damn. Well, long story short, I asked this girl if I could jerk off in front of her, and it took her a whole day to get upset.
That's me.
It took her a whole day. Her brain. What kind of weed did you give her though? It took her a whole day to process.
Spice. We gave her spice. We didn't give her the real shit.
All right. Full disclosure, we probably dabbed.
Ooh.
I was dabbing at the time, so
What does that mean?
It's a dance move.
it's when you cough in the ear.
It's a
Right.
it's a concentrated.
I've been doing it this whole time. It's a dumb dance move made by the hip hop culture Migos.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like something else.
What?
Oh,
Please explain.
What?
Migos?
Oh, okay. We're saying
It's
that
like the
one.
Wiggles, but like West Side.
When
wait,
you
hold
put
on.
it
wait,
together,
guys.
so
Hold on. Let me just cast a rope and bring us back in. Can we finish what we were talking about?
Yeah, Louis C.K. Took him a whole day.
Wait, you were jerking off in front of Louis?
24 hours.
Alright, yeah, so my brother, he freaking, he asked this girl, politely, hey, we're into this, we're animals.
Is
or
you down
we're
to fuck?
humans, not animals. Let's have sex, right? It took her a whole fucking day to get upset at him and go, now I'm gonna text you and tell you about how I don't like being treated as a whore. How was she treated as a whore? Did my brother do something wrong?
no,
Am I as bad as Louis C.K.?
no.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, were all of your places in the right places?
What
Are
you
you-
mean?
Good question.
Were you zipped up, motherfucker?
Was I zipped up? Yeah, I was.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I was zipped up.
Yeah, it was
She's
like
just,
he
you know
was
what, like I said,
yeah, hold on, guys. Do you
she's
wanna
just
have
mad
sex?
because you did not offer her the right amount of money. I get it. I get it.
That's really
Hoes
what it
will
was.
be hoes. I mean, ladies are very beautiful creatures.
Flowers.
Flowers, delicate. What?
Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
But what kind of chauvinistic shit? We don't condone that kind of behavior.
Well, what do you think about it, Joe?
Well, I've already told my brother, like, that's baloney. I don't understand. Because that's the thing.
So that's
I
not
actu-
like Louis though, because that's when I'm drawing these
No,
connections
it's
or
not
lines
like
to.
Louis, but
Because the way I look at Louis is like he just asked.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so yeah,
asking
all
the
right.
crime
Maybe
down?
Louis was wrong at some point. I wasn't there. Perspective is everything. It's really hard to get a fucking full story when I'm not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
could've been in
knowing
the
the
closet.
fucking facts. I could have been in the closet. Would have had a camera. But yeah, no, I don't think they're. I feel like those women are just being bullies at this point. It should have been handled between them. They should have talked to Louis and been like, "Hey, man, we didn't realize. We thought it was a joke, etc."
That's
People
pretty good.
should be able to talk to each other without fucking involving a fucking lawyer. You know?
So something I've heard thrown around a lot is that one of the things about this all is that because Louis C.K. is a rich, powerful, straight white man, the women were not in any position to say no. So it's like when they said yes, that was a foregone conclusion. They felt trapped, if you will.
Yeah, but
So-
then.
And Louis said as much, I think.
I actually think he did, yeah.
See, but why didn't they? Why? I feel like they're
Because
just being.
they felt like they couldn't.
I feel
their
like they're
career was
being-
over.
I think
like they're being
what
sexist towards themselves. It's like, oh, so because you're a woman, you assume that your career's going to be over because he's a man with higher power.
A
or
lot of
being
the female
famous.
comedians I know would say yes, unironically.
But that doesn't make sense, because if women ever want to get anywhere and perceive that they have power themselves and stop being pushed down, they should stop acting like it and stop going, oh, well, I'm going to get in trouble because he's a man and he's in power. It's like, no, that's not what you think. You should be able to take it just like any other person.
I think that might be aligned to the pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the poison that a lot of white privileged dudes get fed, which is, you know, hey, tough it up, rub some dirt on it. And now, because we've always lived in that world, we expect everyone else to live in that world as well. So you can't expect women to like pull themselves up by the bootstrap and rub dirt on
I'm not expecting them
you
to,
know,
but they should
so
probably
because honestly, we shouldn't have had to either. You shouldn't have had to rub dirt in it, even as men, because we're so in this weird environment where it's not okay to, you know, look good as men, right, without being a model or gay, right?
Yeah.
Right, but like that's
That
it,
sucks.
right?
Yeah.
But a little bit though, you know, and then you know, and then you got the people that just don't give a fuck, you know, which those people are awesome, but those are gems, you know, throughout society that
Yeah,
that
isn't
you
it-
know, those are the exception to the rule, not necessarily, you know, the norm, right? So when you see somebody succeeding as a gay guy, that's not the jump out of a cake gay guy, doesn't mean that that's the way everything's going to work for all gay people going forward. That just means he's the exception to the rule.
I'm kind of
You know,
confused about the
so-
jump out of a cake.
Because
Are you saying
like okay, like
He's
when
the
you look
sweetest
at
pumpkin pie.
like a sweetest pumpkin pie, yeah. Because I'm saying like because you have gay because you have people in any sort of like subculture or any sort of culture
Yeah.
that are either like, hey, I'm a white privileged Nazi loving white guy, and then like from the South, right? And you're like, okay, now all white people look like that and act like that, you know, or you know, oh, black people are all just gang banging thug people,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah, right, yeah, exactly. So,
No,
like,
we're not. I swear.
yeah, right. So it's like
You sound
people
too
like
nice to
people
be
like
gay.
to put labels on shit and then assume that that's always gonna be that's always gonna be the thing, and it's not. You know, labels suck. So you grow up in a society where men have a label, and the label is rub dirt on it, tough it up, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, blah blah blah, and then you get that mentality where a lot of guys are putting that on women then that want to quote unquote be feminists or be brought into this work world or the workforce or you know be the Louis C.K. of women, right? They expect then for them to put in just as much hard work and that Louis had to do or other comedians or whoever had to put dirt on it. They expect everybody else to put dirt on it, and fuck that. Everybody should just treat people with respect, stop putting labels on things, and stop putting dirt where it doesn't belong. Clean it up, use some brownie paper towels, and like...
They're no longer your sponsor.
yeah, I'm trying to get them back.
Use Bounty this time.
Yeah, use Bounty. Here's exactly
But, right.
what you say.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on it. One of the biggest problems for me is why can't we just be respectful
Right?
to each other?
That's it.
And this whole thing of left, right, gay, straight, woman, male, all that bullshit is not. It's not even. It doesn't have to be real.
Right.
It doesn't have to exist if we respected each other, you know. But we've dug such a hole that we have to label everything.
Mhm.
Like, I can't imagine how many times I've been told, like, you know, you sound white, or you're pretty nice for a black guy.
Well, you are.
People tell you that?
Well, yeah, I've been told.
Because you're a dick.
Or my parents, your kids are so well behaved or well spoken.
Ooh, well spoken.
Bitch,
Yeah,
are you
that's
trying to
strange.
say that we're supposed to be like
Yeah. Everybody's
1940s Southern
I-
slave talk type shit? Like,
Right.
Isa don't know how to say a fucking sentence type shit. Like,
Jar Jar Binks type shit.
you're right.
Right.
So, like, if we don't label shit, we won't know that these things were once things that, you know, were made normalized.
I mean, history is important, but we shouldn't have to define our present and our future by our history.
Exactly.
So,
I think we should just be respectful to each other. Like,
the name of the podcast is going to be respectful to each other. People are going to have to wait till the end to get that.
be respectful. Chris got fired. Somebody smoking crack in his car. I mean,
I don't know what's the better title.
crack in car
Crack in car.
Be respectful of people smoking crack.
Yeah, exactly.
while getting fired from the comedy club.
Yeah.
That
Florida
would
man.
be great if that
Florida man.
happened on the same day.
Oh yeah, no, that would be fucking hilarious.
You should make your revenge by having a guy on crack take your car and crash into the comedy club.
What kind of shit? No,
Awkwardly, does anybody have
I love my car too much.
some last minute things? We're running at the hour and 20 minutes, and for the one person that might listen to this, I don't know if they want to listen anymore.
You know what? I'll listen individually and give us a rating.
Just leave a comment. Fuck this.
Yeah, I've got one thing that we actually want to show you, Chris, at work over the weekend, but you just didn't show up because you got fired.
Like an asshole.
Like an asshole.
Joey's seen it. Eric's seen it twice now, but he forgot the first time. Everyone, a bunch of the other people at work saw it. This is the name of a professor at the community college by my house. I didn't go there, but some of my friends from high school and shit did, so they knew of the guy. His name's going to be at the top in bold, and also note his email address. So that's going to be first initial last name at school name. That's on the fourth line down,
If
all right?
you could read his name for us.
And Adam,
We
if you want to
can.
see this too.
Mhm.
Should I turn sideways to make it easier to read? No, it makes it harder. Okay. So, this son of a bitch.
Oh wow.
Is that real?
Yes.
That's real.
Can you read it
Oakton.
for us, Chris?
Frank Niggas. Or Niggas.
What's his email?
It's first initial and last name, so it is.
Yeah, what is
Chris,
that,
take it away.
F Niggas.
Oh, and by the way, it's
Oh!
probably okay for me to say niggas as well. I don't know
Yes!
if Chris is the only one saying it.
Because he has to give us, he has to like sanction us to have N-word privileges.
It's like being inducted into the Knights of the Round Table. There's like this whole thing.
Well, let me just tell you that this guy didn't even say niggas until I started saying it so much at work.
Him and this other coworker,
Was he white too?
ex-coworker,
They're both white. weren't they?
under federal whatever he said he could be considered white, whatever that bullshit is.
He's Assyrian.
Now he knows we're talking about him.
Okay,
He's not gonna listen to this shit.
I don't even listen to this shit.
That's so horrible to say. Yeah, so they're all like, fuck the police, nigga, nigga, nigga. And I'm like, okay, alright, I see you.
And then he started saying the N-word more, started overcompensating.
Yeah. I had
You gotta take that shit back.
Yeah, because see, here's the thing.
Right.
It to me, that word is just, it's just like the word bitch to me. It's a good replacer. It's a good filler word when you're telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude that smoked crack in my car.
Right.
My perfect response to that would be like, nigga. Like,
Right.
this is the same thing as calling somebody a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Going to McDonald's. Okay, one thing I hate is when you go to a fast food joint and it's obnoxiously nasty, but you're worried about like calorie counts and shit. So it's like, well, do you have gluten-free bread? Bitch, no, it's McDonald's. Get the fuck out and go to a place that actually serves real food. Like, you know McDonald's is processed shit. Fuck out, bitch. Nigga. Like, it's the same shit to me.
Right.
Okay, what?
See, that's
What do you
funny,
feel,
though,
Joey?
That you say it's funny that you say it's a good word for filler, as like everybody else has another fucking definition for it. It's like for me, like I always thought it was. I grew up with it, and just I grew up around a lot of racists, so I used it because I was like, well, fuck you guys, you're a bunch of niggas.
And he's like, Joey, you can't say that. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, if
it's just
I see
like-
his point, because when you grow up around racist people that are dropping hard R's, you're like, fuck these niggas, they're racist.
Yeah.
But I'm going
These
to take the
niggas.
word back for everybody else who's not here, because if they were here, I hope they'd shoot my racist ass uncle.
Yeah.
But
like-
you, Will, will you say it?
Me?
Yeah, say it.
If I have a good reason to.
I have a good reason to.
Basically,
Like
when he's at his other job, he'll say it.
I won't say it.
But
I
I'm
won't
just-
even quote
So my
it.
question for you, Chris, is how would you feel if you met a white guy named Frank Niggas?
Hey, it's a cool
I
last
think it's
name.
pronounced like Nigas, or he like makes a long eye or something. That's why I've heard it. Nigas or something like that. But I'm
Or
pretty
it
sure
could
it's
be
a
Nagas.
Is that a
Maybe.
white? Is that a white professor? Is
Yeah,
what
that's
you're
I'm
alluding
pretty
to?
sure. And
Frank
I
Niggas.
looked it up on fourbears.io, which has information about every last name in the fucking world. It's like there's 30-some Nigases or Niggases in the world. Like 20 live in Russia, there's 7 in Ukraine, and the rest are in the United States or elsewhere or whatever. So I'm guessing
20 in
he's-
Russia?
It's either 20 in Ukraine and 7 in Russia.
There's only 20 niggas in Russia. I knew it. I ain't ever going to Russia.
I'm gonna leave it at that. That's.
You can't.